Hebrews chapter 7 verses 23 through 28. Jesus remains forever with a priesthood that does not pass away. Brothers and sisters, the priests of Levi were many, because they were prevented by death from remaining in office, but Jesus, because he remains forever, has a priesthood that does not pass away. Therefore, he is always able to save those who approach God through him, since he lives forever to make intercession for them. It was fitting that we should have such a high priest, holy, innocent, undefiled, separated from sinners, higher than the heavens. He has no need, as did the high priests, to offer sacrifice day after day, first for his own sins and then for those of the people. He did that once for all when he offered himself. For the law appoints men subject to weakness to be high priests, but the word of the oath, which was taken after the law, appoints a son, who has been made perfect forever. This reading from the letter to the Hebrews tells us that Jesus has a priesthood that does not pass away like it would for a human. Jesus is and always has been sinless. We cannot say that about any human priest, because they are human, and all of us tend to sin. Donatism was a subgroup within the Catholic Church, in the region of North Africa, from the 4th to the 6th centuries AD. Donatists argued that clergy must be faultless for their ministry to be effective, and their prayers and sacraments to be valid. Donatism was named after the Berber Christian bishop Donatus Magnus. The Donatists argued that the personal holiness of the priest determined the effectiveness of their ministry. This calls into question who is giving the blessing or grace, God or the human instrument he uses to convey the grace. At this point St. Augustine successfully argued that the priest is the instrument God uses to convey the grace or sacrament, therefore the personal holiness of the human priest has no importance on the grace or sacrament given because the grace is coming from the eternal and greatest high priest Jesus Christ. By the sacrament of holy orders, or ordination, a priest becomes an instrument of the risen Christ. The Church is now, and has always been, a mixed bag of saints and sinners. The Church is the ship, the vessel whose destination is heaven, but not all of us willingly take the opportunity to board the vessel, or to successfully complete the journey. Priests are just like the rest of us, they are born, live, sin and die, therefore their time of service to the religious community is limited by their eventual earthly death. The Jewish historian Josephus estimated that 83 high priests had served Israel from the first high priest, Aaron, to the fall of the Second Temple in 70 AD. Every high priest eventually became too old to serve any longer, and passed on his duties to the person who would succeed them. A human priest can, for his time of service, point people in the direction of a heavenly reward, but only Jesus can permanently intercede for us and save us. Christ lives forever, and he is completely holy, blameless, unstained, separated from sinners, exalted above the heavens, and thus he has a permanent and perpetual priesthood. Jesus is the only one who ever qualified to become a permanent high priest for the entire human race. Hebrews chapter 4 verses 15 and 16. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who has similarly been tested in every way, yet without sin. So let us confidently approach the throne of grace to receive mercy, and to find grace for timely help.